Welcome to the Adventures in Jir'Haniya. My name is Josh, and I realized I did not put DM in my title, so I'm going to fix that now real quick. Alrighty, everyone, so we are going to jump in now. Last week, during session 4, I know we got a little complicated with the numbering there, but after Tide and Kastan had their adventure with Creditan and the Forbidden Cave, and returned to Verkis and Eremos, you all continued on your way to the Mound of Mol'Karrian. The rest of the travel went pretty uneventfully up until the end. As you were watching, the hand of Haldoon came and, or the hand of Dinrak, sorry, the hand of Dinrak came and terrorized poor Kastan, and as well as a group of rather forward rabbits talking to you about some danger ahead. But the group pressed on, and you were ambushed by a pack of gnolls and their wild boar little steeds. The group went through and did astoundingly better than I imagined and just wiped out the ambush very expertly. Very epic. I figured you guys would kind of clash and make it out, and once the tide turned in battle, that as the tide turned in battle, pun intended, that the ambushed remaining forces would retreat. But nope, you guys got everyone. So we ended right after that combat, and it looks like everyone is still level 3, but inching pretty close to level 4. So right before that ambush, Tide's owl familiar rose above the battlefield to give us a bird's eye view, and you did see that just beyond the edge of that forest is the Mound of Mol'Karrian, within very close reach. So that is where we left off, and that is where we'll begin today. Night had just fallen, and you have just survived the ambush. The Mound of Mol'Karrian is about a half-hour hike away. What does everyone do?
Is this a new day?
Nope, we're taking place right after that ambush.
He is still panicking. It is still in the hand of Dinrak. He's just right up behind Verkis, like as close as possible. And it's just like, cousin, we should stay here.
I understand your concern, but we did just handily dispatch of a hunting party of gnolls. Maybe this hand of Dinrak isn't as terrible as you assume
The
it is.
hand of Dinrak takes, cousin.
In this case, I think it took the lives of those gnolls.
Kastan ponders this for a moment.
With that, Verkis kind of glances around at the mayhem we have wrought upon the gnolls. Just in case these aren't the only gnolls in this forest and perhaps they have buddies, perhaps we dispatch of these bodies and bury them or put them in a different area, something along those lines, just in case they're...
We can put them up against the trees and cover them some kind of moss and fungus that will
Perfect.
digest them quickly.
Kastan
works for me.
using Thorn Whip to just launch bodies over to the tree.
Thud, thud. I am gonna load up the boars into our cart, though.
Okay, yeah. Actually, maybe instead of thorn whipping bodies, I will start butchering the boars.
I'll start in the cart with like extra, like their weapons that we could like possibly sell or trade away later.
Yeah, you find some spears and daggers and short swords. They're not in particularly good repair, but while you guys are telling me the rest of the stuff you do, I will really quick look and get you a value estimate for those items real quick. Yeah.
Other than that, like once we have the bodies over, I'm gonna start helping Kastan with butchering. I have some experience with that stuff.
Nice. You guys are going to have a really nice feast tonight, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Ramos will help with battlefield cleanup and then very eagerly look towards the mound.
Very cool. I dig it. So, yeah, you guys find approximately 80 gold worth of assorted weapons on the gnolls.
Mm-hmm.
The weapons are not super well kept, so you find about 80 gold's worth of party loot there.
Cool. Actually, I'm wondering, can I have it so that Tavusa is consistently heating my blade as I'm like cutting the boar?
He certainly can.
Yes.
Yep, he's gonna be your little cooking assistant. I like it.
Yeah, he is. He's my sous chef.
Yep. You're like, we can get this boar to a nice broil real easily, nice and consistent.
I got a lightsaber for cooking.
Essentially, yes. Fantasy lightsaber for cooking.
Hell yeah.
I like it. Well, and
Now I
actually,
want one of
if you
those.
want, if it ever were to happen, I'd like to do a homebrew if everyone's cool with it, where if Tavusa like breathes on your blade as an action for the next 6 seconds, or actually for the next 2 rounds, so 12 seconds, your blade would deal 1d4 of like fire damage, like just burning.
I'm down.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
Let's make that a thing. I dig it.
I'm in.
Cool. Well, so as Verkis is cooking up a great feast of boar, which you all smell, and your stomachs start to rumble in eager anticipation, I assume Titan Kastan, with Eremos' strength and help, are hiding those bodies and using some druid craft to get some moss and concealment over them.
I'm not moving bodies, but I'm doing the druid craft part.
The Hume and the Whoosh, right? From our 2 sessions ago.
Yep.
I've been editing the video, and I think I might call the session that the Hume and the Whoosh.
We kind of just zoom it all together and then whoosh.
That's
I
how
can't
magic
wait to
works.
watch that.
Yeah, it's coming together quite nicely. But yes, so everyone, you get those the ambushers' bodies concealed. So if another patrol moves through, which I mean you really don't know, but that is a likely possibility. So that's good. Do you guys want to stay in the similar vicinity or go elsewhere to eat this boar meal tonight?
Probably move.
Where's-
Up to you all. Like maybe move closer to the mound, but not to it.
Is the mound like? Is it
We're like 30 minutes from it?
Correct. About 30
it
minutes away.
a town, or is it just
I
like
think it's just a geographical feature.
Correct. Yeah, you all would have heard at this point. I mean, and Kastan, you would have been filled in by the others that the Mound of Mol'Karrian is. You're kind of in a region of like light forest and plains. There's not too much stuff south of Mount Erig that's like super geographically diverse. And so what you're finding is that there's this doggy. You're finding that there's there's legends that there's this weird mound coming out of the ground. It looks like it does on the map. It's lots of strange boulders, and there's an opening in the center, and there's lots of different myths and legend about what lies inside. Most of them say it's dangerous to go inside, but people do tend to avoid it. There's a lot of people like that have ideas of, it might be cursed, it might be haunted. It's the ancient grave of a cursed queen who wanted to wreak her havoc upon people. There's all kinds of stories, and so people tend to avoid it. But it is you would have seen maps and drawings. It's kind of in a slight dell of the plain, just sitting there on the grass, just these rocks coming out of the ground, and the forest is about 20 minutes from it. You guys are about 10 minutes from the edge of the forest. So
would we be able to get to a position still within the forest that is able to maybe observe the mound before we actually like make efforts to go to it, so we can see if there's any kind of activity there?
yeah, so if you get to the very edge of the forest, you can kind of see the top of the Mound of Mol'Karrian. It goes about 20 feet high, so it's not super tall. Because it's in a bit of a dell, you can just kind of see the top of the stones, but you would have to kind of go to the edge of where the ground slopes down a bit to get a good position, but you could sneak up to that and see if there's any activity around it for sure.
Okay, yeah, because I was thinking maybe it would be a better idea for us to head toward the mound and kind of make camp. I don't know if we're making camp yet, but just kind of get to the point where we're supposed to observe it if we are going to be camping like for a long rest, or if we're going to be able to like observe it before heading in.
Yeah, however you guys want to do it. Like I said, you could get to that edge of where the ground starts to slope down. You'll be about 15 minutes from there, and that would put you where you could observe it and set up camp. But if anyone is near the mound, they would probably see you as well. So it's kind of a
Gotcha.
Yep.
So it's still pretty early in the day.
Oh no, it's evening. You guys just finished that combat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd say it's about probably 10 p.m. at this point now.
So it's probably going to be beneficial for us to long rest then, huh?
I think we could take a moment to scout before. Just make sure.
Well, actually, sorry, I should have mentioned this earlier. When your owl was flying over the ambush site, your owl gets high enough. You can see the Mound of Mol'Karrian. You see these geographical features, and there's no one around it that you can see. It looks deserted. So, sorry, I should have led with that. That would have probably altered the decision making a little bit.
Closer. But okay, I guess we could. I mean, I'm okay to keep going for a bit. I don't necessarily need a long rest yet, but we could scout a little bit and decide after that.
It might behoove us to approach the mound with the cover of night.
Also,
yeah, because the original plan was that the final day of travel would take you right up to the mound right as night fell, but then because you slowed down to react to the ambush, that's why it's a little later at night now. But you guys are right in the vicinity of, so
makes sense.
My divine power for the day is completely taxed, so if we don't sleep, I will be at a disadvantage inside the mound.
I think that we definitely rest before entering the mound. And now we're just trying to decide if we kind of rest within the forest and then head to the mound first thing in the morning, or head to the mound, kind of do some recon and then rest.
I think going right up to the edge of the forest to camp for the night is the best, and then whoever wants to can break off and scout a little bit.
I don't know if we should break off. I think that we can take, I don't know. I could take, if we're closer, I could look a little bit better, see if there's really anybody around. And then, are we meeting someone inside?
No. So actually, that's a good point to summarize your kind of mission parameters up until this point. So Jir'Haniya, before you were separated from him, said that he wanted to go with you all to the Mound of Mol'Karrian to find something important inside. He didn't really elaborate. It was quite vague. These islanders that you met back in Havenhearth, they were going to the Mound of Mol'Karrian to find something. You found some texts on their boat that mentioned some kind of ancient armor and weapons, something about killing gods and destroying souls, a bunch of weird stuff. And then you did get word from Jir'Haniya, both in the message that he gave to Eremos when he cast Speak with the Dead, as well as a piece of parchment on his horse that you all received, is that he left a transcription of the last Star Reader's prophecy regarding you all with someone, and he said to go and find that. You need to go to, and I want to double check that I'm getting the name right, so let me look it up real quick. Yeah, he wants you to go to the town of Greenshire. I guess it's more of a city. It's a small city, big town, Greenshire, and speak to someone named Almirand about acquiring that transcription of the prophecy. So that's kind of your twofold mission. And back in session 2 / the beginning of session 3, the group decided that on the way to Greenshire, you're going to stop at the Mound of Mol'Karrian. Once you're done at the Mound of Mol'Karrian, there were a couple of routes we discussed. I think we landed on continuing south from the Mound of Mol'Karrian to the marshes, taking a ship a little bit further south, and then cutting west to get to Greenshire as expeditiously as possible. So that is where we are.
I have that as a note. It's bolts and bordered and stars around it, so I can't lose it.
Nice. I dig it. Alrighty, guys. So, just to kind of cut to the fun stuff, because I'm excited. As you guys get closer to the edge of the forest, Ty, do you have your owl in flight above you guys, kind of looking around?
Yeah.
Cool. So your owl is able to see very clearly. There's nothing around the Mound of Mol'Karrian. The Mound of Mol'Karrian sits in kind of a gap in the forest. There's weirdly like no trees around it, which is a little strange, but the forest does kind of come to a natural break, and there are other patches of forest beyond it, but you have like a treeless, grassy area that's like it looks like about a mile long, maybe a mile and a half, and then about 3/4 of a mile tall kind of in dimensions. So it's a large area, and the mound sits there. It's just a bunch of stones with a little like weird gap in the center that looks like an entrance. There's nothing around it. You do spot a few areas about 150 feet around the mound that look like they might have been campsites for someone, but they look like they've been abandoned for at least a couple weeks, if not longer. So people might have come to like take a little pilgrimage to get close, or something like that. But there's no one nearby right now.
I think it's safe to rest here if that's what we want to do. We've had the one combat since our last rest, so if we wanted to get in and out, but if we're going to be in there for a while,
yeah, you guys don't know how big it is inside or what to expect.
we will not be able to rest once we get in there.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely just before we go in.
Well, while you guys are resting, I did want to mention too, we mentioned in the other sessions that in addition to those cryptic texts you found on the Islanders ship, there was one map of the insides of the Mound of Mol'Karrian, but it is very poorly drawn. It looks like it was done under haste and duress. It is written in common, but most of the notes don't really make sense. And a lot of the rooms are connected very strangely, so you're doubtful that it's going to be super helpful inside. So. But it looks like there could potentially be a lot of rooms, so it might be something that could take a while to explore fully.
I'm going to take that map and I'll open my sketchbook and I'll have it on one page next to a blank one. And I'll as we're walking in, I'll start comparing and drawing how we're going through it. To kind of
perfect.
Map of it as we go in.
I like that idea. Awesome. So it sounds like the consensus is that we're going to take a long rest and then in the morning head into the Mound?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And I'll prepare that boar feast.
Are we doing who are the people who can trance?
That would be me and Verkis.
So
Yeah.
You two should rest first.
Okay. Oh, that's smart.
Because if you do need to rest again for whatever reason, you'll have time to do so. Well, actually, you can't do long rest with them anyway. But yeah, you two should, or one of you should at least sleep first.
Okay.
I would like to say that as you guys get a long rest, and it sounds like you're being smart with sleeping order and who's going to be on watch and stuff, due to the fine feast that Verkis has cooked, Verkis, can you roll me a D4, please?
D4. A 4.
A 4. Ooh, nice. Okay, so on the next day, because of that excellent feast you had the night before, everyone is well nourished and energized. So up to 4 times in the next 24 hours, you all can add a 1d4 to any roll.
Oh my god.
Nice.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
I gotta check something on my sorcerer feats. Go ahead. I'll say what I will.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, the night passes without incident. You all get a good rest. You sleep extra well because of that delicious boar feast in your bellies. The starry night outside of the forest is beautiful. Gaston, what are we looking at for constellation this next day?
Let's hope it's good.
The number.
All right. It is the Shroud of Hithlin.
Ooh.
Yes, this is so good. Okay, great.
What's the Shroud of Hithlin again?
Huh?
Oh, so you can cast Pass Without a Trace once without using a spell slot. Very
Holy crap. Okay.
nice.
Great.
That's a good one to have for this next
I
journey.
know. And I have a witness to see that I rolled actually an 8.
Awesome. Well, do you guys have some leftover boar meat for breakfast, or just the rations that you brought from Oak Hearth or Haven Hearth?
Oh, there's plenty of boar meat. I only for the 4 of us, it probably only needed to prepare one of the 4 boars.
True.
Also, I'll use one of the medicine pouches, the one that's for the critters, that mix of herbs and stuff.
Yeah.
I'll put that on the meat just for, I don't know, it's not going to heal us or anything, but what else?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's great. So, yeah, between that and Verkis' excellent cooking and his fine roasting due to Tavusa, it's a pretty epic meal. Definitely best one you guys have had since you were at the Laughing Dragon Tavern. So, there you go.
I think for breakfast, I'll cook us the bird steaks or whatever that I have.
Oh, yeah, from the giant birds you fought.
The bird steaks and boar bacon.
So you guys are all proteined up, ready to rock and roll.
Oh, God.
Beaks to slice up everything. It's very much fajita style. I've druid crafted some herbs and small vegetables to throw in.
Nice. Man, you guys are eating good. That's amazing.
And then my lunar embodiment is going to be different when we wake up. So like I'm going to be in the full moon embodiment. So like you see my skin is like light blue, but like every once in a while, like you see like a ripple kind of go through it. And it's just like you see like a full moon kind of reflected as if from underwater, kind of just on my person.
That's cool. That's very cool. Awesome. Well, so you guys have breakfast. You're all energized for the day. At this point, it's about 8:30 in the morning. The Mound of Mol'Karrian is about 20 feet tall, like I said, and it's kind of oval shaped. It goes back about 35-ish feet. So it seems like this little entrance must go deeper underground. Otherwise, it wouldn't be that deep inside. And you do notice that the inside, about 10 feet in, is like a strange, really unnatural darkness. Like it should be more well lit. You know what I mean? Like it feels like you're gazing into an abyss when you look inside the opening of the Mound of Mol'Karrian.
Is this even with our dark vision?
Correct.
Jeez.
Yeah, your dark vision does not seem to penetrate it, which is concerning.
Yikes.
All right, guys.
I strike a torch and lead the way inside.
Okay. As you walk into it, it almost feels like you're about to walk into a wall. It's so dark. But as you pass through that threshold, you come to a hallway with the same kind of stone that you saw around this as the walls and the ceiling, but it goes back way further than you think it should. So your brain kind of does a, whoa, that, okay. It looks like it goes on for at least another like 100 feet.
It's bigger on the inside.
Correct. So do the three of you follow Eremos bravely into the darkness?
I call out from inside. I say, "Oh, you'll see much better once you're in here."
They do hear you. They do hear you.
Yeah. I wouldn't say the word bravely, but yes, I do enter.
Oh, and I assume you guys left the horses outside, right?
Probably at the edge of the forest. It's just 10 minutes away, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could have left them on the edge of the forest as well, totally.
Cool. I'll make sure to like cover that area and like that moss that like hides scent that we used in that one like campaign with me and Matthew.
Perfect.
Piston.
Yes. Yeah, no, you guys are able to give them a nice little hidden position where they can rest in a copse of trees, nice and well hidden, and yeah, they're safe. So cool.
I'm
Well,
sure to protect the horses. He's in charge until we get back.
cool. Bub kind of neighs and gives you a look like, I got this. But you're also like, oh, what does he mean? I don't know.
I trust him completely.
Nice. Well, back in the Mound of Mol'Karrian, so you guys are heading down this strangely long, dark stone hallway. There's no light except for Eremos' torch. Those with dark vision, now that you've passed this threshold, can see inside. But when you turn and look behind you, it looks like it's complete darkness behind you. Like you can't see the outside, so that's strange.
That is really weird.
Do any of the notes on the hastily drawn map kind of make sense in terms of, like, as it relates to this phenomenon we're experiencing with the darkness?
There is a note near the entrance that says dark ? Magic ?
Can I do a check on the darkness? Like if it's a spell that's here, if it's like a phenomena of the mound?
What would you do, like a nature or arcana check? What would you do for that? Or perception?
Or an arcana maybe to see if I can feel the magic around here.
Okay, yeah, you can do that.
All right, a little finicky since I've gotten you. What? And rolling up and down. Okay. Okay. 16.
16, okay. So with the 16, it definitely feels like some sort of magic. It doesn't seem like it necessarily comes from a spell that something living is casting. It more feels like it radiates from the rocks themselves.
Ooh, okay, so this is an inherently magical place.
It would seem that way.
Terrifying and exciting all at the same time.
Do I see any doors off this hallway as I'm walking down?
Actually, Eremos, since you are in the lead, yes, as you walk further, you see that the arch or the hallway does take a sharp turn to the left a little ways ahead. Like
Is
at
there
a
any other
90-degree
direction?
angle. Nope.
I'll
Just
make,
left.
I'll make a note on the new map about the darkness from what I've noticed. And then on the old map, is there like any direction on whether or not can I tell if we're supposed to just keep going forward, if there's something we should be expecting coming up?
So how it looks on this map is that they show a diagram of the entrance, and it looks like how you viewed the mountain from the outside, where the rocks and a little opening into darkness. After that, there's like a line and like a swirly, and then down, and then it splits into a bunch of different rooms, and all of these rooms are interconnected through curving lines. It's very difficult to read, and is like, who made this? Clearly not an experienced cartographer.
Now,
So.
I think.
Oh, gosh.
But Eremos leading the way, if you turn down that hallway, it's just some more hallway, and after about 30 feet, there's another 90-degree turn to the left.
So as we make each of these turns, I will drop a little scrap of paper or cloth or something just to leave a trail.
That is smart. Duly noted. I like that. Yes, you can make a stealth check to hold Verkis' hand. I love it. What was that, Castan?
Hold on, I'm still mathing.
Okay. I love it.
That's a 16.
My passive perception is a 16.
Damn it.
So Verkis, you notice as Castan's hand just kind of reaches over and grabs yours.
I let him.
Well, holding hands, walking into the darkness, Eremos bravely leading with his torch. You all take this second left-degree turn. Eremos very wisely drops another little piece of cloth, so you guys can have some visual reference to where you've been. This hallway goes on for quite a while, about 150 feet. But as you walk down it, these stone walls are unadorned, no symbols, no writing, nothing. Occasional breaks where rocks end and new ones start, but no noticeable pattern or anything like that. As you go down the ways, though, you do see Eremos being in the lead. At the very front, at the edge of your vision, you do see that this hallway ends and opens up into a larger chamber.
Do I sense a descent or a decline in the path as I'm walking? No.
Not at all. It's completely level, which is weird.
Is it a
Yeah.
pretty open?
As you guys get closer, yeah, it looks like a pretty spacious room.
What all is in this room?
What was that, Matthew?
Have we been passing doors this whole time?
Nope.
Okay.
And you said it's a room, so what all is in this room?
I will tell you. I'm glad you asked. So, as you guys go into this larger room, it's quite expansive. It's about 100 feet. It's pretty much circular, this room. And it's about 100 feet in diameter. Now, I'm going to, because there's a lot of stuff in this room, no enemies, there's a lot of stuff though. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in the Discord and then read it to you guys so you can reference what I'm saying as you look at the Discord. And then you can ask me questions and tell me what you start doing in the room. So I'm going to kind of start on the left side of the chamber and then work around it. Let me copy and paste this in the general channel. Oh, hang on. I clicked the wrong server. Give me a moment. Okay. So I just dropped that in. Is it cool if I begin reading to you guys what you see?
Go for it.
Excellent. So on your left in the chamber is a round stone dais of smooth gray stone. I forgot to write stone in there. It is tilted towards the center of the room, so it's not quite parallel to the ground, but it's rather canted upward on the side closer to the wall and lower on the side nearer to the center of the chamber. So there's this large round, it looks almost like a giant stone frisbee, and it's canted this way, so it's kind of at an angle. And then on the right side of the chamber is a large map on the wall, which I'll send you a picture of momentarily. Around the map, there are 3 grotesque stone statues of humanoid creatures. 2 of them are on the left of the map, 1 is on the right. The map shows a pair of continents that none of you have ever seen or heard of. The regions are numbered, and the y-axis, so the vertical axis, has numbers going from top to bottom, which splits the map into thirds. So there's 1, 2, 3, and it splits the map into thirds. Above the map is an inscription of words that are not in common. To the left of the map, you see a large metal hexagon on the wall. It's about 12 feet by 12 feet from top to bottom. And then to the right of the round stone dais is a drawing of a big red skull on the wall. Below it are some drawings of animals with numbers and symbols underneath them. In the order of left to right, there is a hawk with a plus sign and the number 134. There's a squirrel with the number 42. There's a snake with a dash and the number 16, and then a dragon with an X and 8. On the ceiling is a drawing of the night sky with the moon and other constellations showcased on this beautiful drawing. At the far end of the room, opposite where you just entered, this is a round room, but it does get flat at the very opposite side. And on that flat opposite side, there is a large grid in the wall. It has 12 square openings in it. These are arranged in 3 columns of 4. The top row has 3 squares, and each have a tumbler that reveal various symbols. All 3 tumblers have the same options for symbols, which are fire, water, wind, sun, moon, skull, wheat, bird, and cactus. Underneath those first 3 openings on the top row, there are squares underneath that form the other. There's 4, 8, and 12 under there, and those all have numbers behind them from 0 to 12. Underneath those 3 symbol tumblers, though, there are symbols etched into the stone. Underneath the top left, there is 2 dots. Underneath the center one, there is a diamond. And underneath the far right one, there is a strange rune, which I will send you all a picture of momentarily. And so the tumblers that have numbers, I'm going to send you a symbol or a picture of where they're all set currently, but all of the numbers can rotate between 0 and 9, and all 3 of those top squares can have any of those symbols that I listed out. So let me send you all where it's currently set up.
While you do that, the minute I see the picture of the dragon,
Yes.
I'm going to spend a spell slot to use my primeval awareness to see if there are any dragons around within a mile.
Okay.
Outside of Tavusa.
Cool. Do you have to roll that, or is it just an auto success, or how does it work?
So all it is it makes me, as an action, I can expend 1 ranger spell slot
Okay.
to sense whether any aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead are present.
You cast it and see that none of those are present within 100 feet.
It's within a mile.
Oh, even within a mile? No, there are none.
Okay. Well, my anxiety is immediately gone.
So I know that was a pretty big info dump, but I gave you guys a bunch of the stuff that's in the room. Again, that picture I just sent shows where that grid on the opposite side, where everything currently is. But if you look in the text above it, it says where all those, what you can put in any of those different spaces. So all 15 of those openings that have tumblers can move, and I'll let you guys start exploring and asking questions and interacting with everything in the room.
Gaston's going to be gravitated toward that thing on the ceiling, the star and moon map.
Nice.
We're looking for any kind of familiar constellations as they relate to his own star map.
Cool. Can you roll me an investigation or a nature, please, as you search those constellations?
Yeah, I'll do nature.
Cool.
19.
Cool. You very quickly realize that none of these constellations are any you've ever seen before. These stars look completely foreign to you.
Got it.
They look almost made up because you're like, based on your understanding of the stars, like the way that they rotate, and like you've seen all the constellations that are in the heavens that could possibly be. So this doesn't make sense to you that these are laid out in patterns, but you've never seen them before. It seems very strange.
So you said that the language for those words was not in common. I speak Draconic, Elvish, and Goblin.
I was about to say, looking at that, it is actually in Draconic, so I will tell you what it says in a moment. But first, I need to send you guys a picture of that map Some of you might recognize it from another play-by-post game because I got lazy and didn't want to make a whole new map, but just the different features on here will be relevant, not the context of the map itself. So I do believe, hang on, let me send the right one. Is it this one? It is this one. Okay. Sure. That's the map you all see there with the numbers on it. And keep in mind, it is divided into thirds from top to bottom. Top third is labeled 1, middle third is labeled 2, bottom third is labeled 3. The inscription in Draconic, Verkis, you read above the map, it says the following. In Draconic, speak the name of that which makes meat more delicious, that which purifies water, that which gives us life, and that which roars from the ground, that which gives us and takes life, that which is wondrous to look upon, that which is most sacred of all. That's what it says.
I say in Draconic, fire.
Boom. Okay. As you speak that, I do need everyone to roll initiative.
Oh, shit. Oh, no.
Verkis, what did you do?
I said something. Oh, no.
All right. Give me a second to write these down here. So I'm showing a 5 for Eremos. Alrighty. And what is everyone else's rolls?
19.
Okay, nice. 19 for Tide. And how about Kastan?
14.
14. Okay. And how about Verkis?
7.
Okay.
End of Dinrak.
Hand of Dinrock is gone, my friend.
Don hears you say that, and he's like, no, Cousin, not today.
Not today. Okay, so here's what happens, guys. As soon as Verkis says the word fire in Draconic, these 3 statues that were flanking the map suddenly come to life. And they start moving towards you all. Like they don't just like come to life, they like explode to life. These guys are moving quick and menacingly, and these statues that look kind of like grotesque gargoyles do try to attack you all.
How tall are they? Or how big are they?
They're about 5.5 feet tall, humanoid.
Okay.
So they're not massive, but they don't look fun to deal with. So the one that was closest to the map on the left, that one is going to run forward and try to attack Verkis because it rolled the highest initiative. So it is going to go first. It is going to make a swipe like a stony claw at you. And I'm assuming an 8 misses.
Yes.
So you are able to dodge quite deftly. And so Tide is up next. Tide, you see these 3 creatures erupt into action, and one lunges at Verkis. What would you like to do, Tide?
The one that you said 4 moved towards Verkis?
There's only 3 of them, and the first one jumped towards Verkis. There's 3 of them.
What are these numbers on the map? The 976. Wait, is this something else?
That's something else.
Yeah, that's the
Never mind.
yeah. Wait, are you talking about the 9643 and that grid there? Yeah, that's what you see on the far end of it on the wall. That's just where the tumblers are all currently located. But you guys can move those around. So
these 2 of the statues were near each other, right?
2 were on the left of the map. 1 was on the right.
Are the 2 on the left of the map still on the left of the map?
1 lunged forward at Verkis, so they are moving. I mean, I'll plot out a quick map of the room, real quick. So,
Josh, I would have been on the investigating the stone dais in between where we entered the room and the map, so kind of close.
Perfect. Okay, and then Tide and Kastan, where would you all have been while Verkis was standing near the map? Where would you guys be?
Kastan is likely still holding Verkis's hand.
Okay.
So Verkis was looking at the map that had the Draconic above it, and I was looking at the thing on the ceiling from there. So
Perfect.
Probably in front of that.
Okay. And Ty, would you be off looking at that grid opposite the entrance you came in, or?
I think I would have gone and started studying that grid to see, like, to then figure out. Yeah, I would have looked at that first to then try to figure out the rest of the room.
Perfect. Okay. As you guys can tell, I had a little too much free time at my escape room job when I designed this. So, yes. Tide, you are a little ways away. We said this is a 100-foot diameter room, so even being on kind of the opposite quadrant, you are still about 35 feet from Verkis and the grotesque gargoyle statue that just attacked him. So you could intercede, depending on how you wanted to do that.
How far is Eremos from me?
About the same distance, but opposite direction, because he was looking at the stone dais, which is on the opposite side of the room from the map.
And there wasn't any there weren't any statues in that direction?
Nope. Only 3 statues in the room were around the map, and they are currently alive and angry.
Okay. So I will so not the one that just moved towards Verkis. If there's one that's a little bit more past, I kind of gauge to see which one's moving first. So the one that's coming in behind, like I don't know the initiative order, but like if they're all moving, I kind of the guy who's moving next.
Yeah, you would tell that that's the on that map I just sent you. It's number 2. So the gargoyle next to the one that just lunged looks like it's about to move next.
Okay. So I'll kind of run. I'll stay behind where Verkis is, but kind of be between Verkis and Eremos.
Okay.
And then I'm going to, as I run, I like swipe, and there's like a green line kind of appears in front of me, and then I pulse it towards that gargoyle. So it's a 60-foot range. I should be within.
Yeah, totally, easily.
And then it's just going. It's going to pulse on it, and then the line's gonna try to wrap around it, and then try to kind of like sting at it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do my attack. Then also, it would have to make. Well, let's see if I hit first. What do I add to this? 6. Oh, can I have my owl swoop past to give me advantage?
You certainly can.
So it's gonna swoop in and out of range. First one's a 16, 13, cool. So a 22 to hit.
That hits.
Oh dear. Yeah. And then it needs to make a con save, 14 DC.
Ooh, 14 DC con save. I like it. Let's see here. It does succeed on that con save. You rolled an 18.
So it takes all the damage, just not poisoned.
Cool. How much damage does it take?
It's gonna take 8 poison damage.
Nice. Oh, hang on. Let me check something. So as you hit it with this, you notice that this gargoyle doesn't seem to be affected by your attack at all.
While I do that,
might be immune to poison damage.
Would you allow me to use a meta magic?
Sure.
So as I kind of like, as it like wraps around and like the poison fails, I kind of notice that it's maybe not going to hit. And I use a sorcery point to change the damage type with transmute spell.
Ooh.
And I'm going to change it to cold damage.
Oh, heck yeah. Okay. So yeah, that does the full, you said it was 8 damage?
Cold damage, yeah.
Nice. Okay. So yeah, you see that around the green thing wraps around the statue. And the statue kind of like looks at you and kind of snarls a little bit. It doesn't make a sound, but it just kind of makes a face like it's snarling. And then you shift it to ice, and the ice like goes on the stone, and it kind of freezes up, and you tell it takes some pretty good damage. So
fantastic.
That's awesome. I like that. Any bonus actions you'd like to cast?
Yes, actually, I'm going to then. No, maybe not. I'm going to kind of stay where I'm at, kind of like see if there's anywhere I can kind of like duck behind, if there's like a pillar, or if not, like I'll just stay between Verkis and Eremos.
Cool. Yeah, there's really no cover in this room, so
yeah, I'll get Eremos' attention. I'm like, yo, heads up.
We're in a fight. Awesome. Well, that was a great turn. The statue that you just injured is going to kind of break free of your magic because it passed that con save. It did take all that damage, and it is going to move towards you, and it is going to take the dash action to get engaged with you, but it doesn't have it's not able to take a turn, but it gets right up in your face, and it looks pretty mean and angry. So
is it gonna pass by me?
Actually, it does. Would you like to take an attack of opportunity, Verkis?
Absolutely.
Do it.
Do, 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 do. 22.
That hits.
And it stops in front of you.
Huh?
And then it stops after you hit it.
Does it?
Oh, yeah, he's right.
When creatures take attack of opportunities, you can't take the rest of your movement.
If it's
I think that's if I have the Sentinel feat.
Correct. That's only with the Sentinel feat.
Oh, really? Let me check
Yeah.
that real quick.
Yeah, that's a specific, really good feature of that feat.
That's a feat that I really want to take.
Right? Like that's a good one for like paladins, fighters to take.
Yeah.
I'm looking up opportunity attack. You can make an opportunity attack. You can see moves out of your reach. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't say anything about stopping movement in the standard opportunity attack.
All right,
Yeah.
never mind.
So
No,
it would make it all the way there, but it sounds like Verkis gets a nice little swipe on it as it runs by. So
I'm also gonna have Tavusa give me an extra D6 fire damage.
do it.
Alright. So it's just 1 point of fire damage, but 11 points of slashing damage.
So 12 total.
12 total.
Heck yeah. Okay. So you hit it, and you actually are surprised that as you hit it, a bunch of the stone around where your sword gallantly clashes through starts to melt a little bit. So this thing's actually really badly injured now. Good hit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it seems like fire does good damage to it. So you hit it pretty hard. And it finishes its turn though.
Fire. All right. Okay. Now
the way its body moves as you hit it, you're like, you know what? Like this thing would probably make a sound if it could, but it's hurt bad. So it runs up and finishes its turn standing aggressively in front of Tide. But Kastan, you are up next. There is a statue that just attacked your cousin Verkis. There's another statue about 10 feet away from you right near the wall that looks like it's about to attack. And then there's the one that Verkis just hit that's run over to Tide. What would you like to do, Kastan?
Kastan wants to panic. Have any like really good? I don't have him built for combat. Okay, so Kastan is going to bonus action shift into his archer starry form.
Ooh.
And so for those of you that haven't seen this yet, you guys actually did. JK. But my starry map goes from its spear into like this starlit bow. The string is like this ethereal energy of whatever.
I picture like a moonbeam.
Kind of, yeah. So I have that ready. As part of the bonus action that it takes to go into that starry form, I'm going to fire off a shot at the one that is next to Tide. So I need to roll to hit for that.
Correct.
That's going to be a 24 to hit.
That absolutely hits.
And you know this one. I think it's 6 damage to that one. Radiant damage.
Nice.
And then as my action...
Oh, real quick before you say that, Kastan. So you fire an arrow and you hit it right in like its back shoulder, and it staggers forward close to Tide, but you get the sense that you hurt it pretty bad with that radiant strike. So it has just about no health left. So nice shot.
Awesome. And then I will quickly throw one of my uses of Guiding Bolt at the one that attacked Verkis.
Nice.
But so in relation to where I'm at, it's kind of like Verkis is in the way a little bit. So I'm like, duck, cousin! and then I launch this Guiding Bolt at him.
Nice. And that's a ranged spell attack as well, correct?
Yes.
Sweet.
Advantage since I'm so close.
You wouldn't get advantage, but you could add that 1d4 from Verkis's fine boar meal if you wanted. Just do it. But with that fine boar meal, actually, just because it is kind of almost OP to have that 1d4 4 times in the day, you just have to declare it before you do the dice roll. Once you do a dice roll, you can't be like, oh, I want to add the d4. You know what I mean? Is that cool, guys?
Make sure I didn't get disadvantage since I'm so close to it.
No, because you're kind of at an angle where like you could take a few steps, like 2 or 3 feet, just kind of incidentally, and do it to where it definitely wouldn't hit Verkis unless you rolled like a nat 1, you know?
I rolled 3 for a total of 7, or for a total of 9. I'm checking. So that's probably not going to hit. And I'm just gonna. I guess I was just too worried about hitting Verkis, so I kind of throw it out, and I'll the other side of this thing to kind of box it in between Verkis and I.
Okay, just keep in mind, actually, you have enough movement, you could go around Verkis, because if you went around the thing, which is kind of the more direct way, you would get an attack of opportunity potentially from the one attacking Verkis or the one that hasn't moved yet. But you have enough movement, you can go around Verkis kind of the long way to kind of flank one on your next turn, and that way you don't provoke any attacks of opportunity.
Okay.
Sweet. Well, yeah, so your Guiding Bolt misses, but you get in a good position to flank, so that is a solid turn. And again, you dealt some really good damage to Gargoyle number 2, which is about to attack Tide. So is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn, Kastan?
It's like the Harry Potter Dementors at the elevator. I'm just like, okay.
Oh, no!
Tide, I tried. Good luck. That's it. That's all I got.
Nice. Well, that was a solid turn. Now the Gargoyle that hasn't moved goes next, and then it'll be Verkis and then Eremos. So the Gargoyle that hasn't moved yet, after seeing Kastan cast that arrow at its companion statue, it is going to move and try to attack Kastan. So this creepy Gargoyle comes over and it tries to bite you, Kastan. Yeah. So that is going to be... Ooh, a 19.
Why do things like to bite me?
You do it.
Well, thankfully, it is only 4 piercing damage.
Kastan's just shouting, why?
Why? The Hand of Dinrock's not even here!
I thought we were done with this.
But yeah, you get bit on the forearm. I figure you would kind of put it out defensively and it would just bite you for 4 piercing damage, so... That happens, unfortunately, but that is its turn. Verkis, you are next.
Am I able to... Okay, so am I able to get next to Kastan without suffering an attack of opportunity?
Yeah, you're so close that it would just be like a couple shuffling footsteps, but yeah, you could reposition to where you're like next to him without provoking an attack. Totally.
Okay, I'm gonna use my action to attack the gargoyle that is attacking me.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do that first.
Nice.
17.
That hits.
Okay.
Did you roll
7 points.
Crit?
Do what?
You roll with advantage to see if you crit, because Kastan flanked so that you.
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. That was actually worse. So 7 points.
7 points of what kind of damage?
Slashing.
Non-magical slashing, correct?
Correct.
Okay, cool. So you hit it, and the stone doesn't seem to... Oh, wait, no, your flame is still active, so please roll for that as well, because remember, it's 2 rounds after Tavusa breathes on your sword, so yes.
Well, that was a different react. That's
yeah.
That it's only for 1 weapon attack. That wasn't. He didn't use the action.
Yeah, I didn't use my action ability for it that you and I just discussed. So.
Oh.
Yeah, because the normal
for the attack of opportunity, right?
Right.
Yeah, we'll let that be how it was for flavor. But yes, Ted.
Verkis needs to use his bonus action for what's the name again? Tavusa to use their action. But Tavusa has a reaction that allows to add a fire damage to anyone within 30 feet. That's what Verkis used last turn.
Yeah, that's not the lasting one for the homebrew. The homebrew would be like me using my bonus action to have Tavusa use his action to breathe on my blade.
Perfect. Okay, thank you for distinguishing that.
Yeah. But after doing that hit, I'm going to swing around. I'm going to clap Kastan on the chest. And I'm just going to say, this isn't your place. And Kastan, I'm going to teleport you 30 feet away with my bonus action for my phase step, because I'm at 3rd level. So now I'm able to teleport my companions.
Nice.
And I'm going to move him towards the entrance. So now we're in 4 different points.
I dig it. Awesome. So Kastan, you suddenly go, whoa, and suddenly you're in a different standing in the room, but just 30 feet away. So
This is the perfect person to do it on first because Gaston can already face step. But if you did it to like me or Eremos, be like, the fuck is this?
right,
Gaston just starts like tearing up a little bit because you decided you chose to move closer to him, and then you touched him. The only way, so he's like,
I initiated contact this time.
and then I disappear like, wing.
But that's my turn.
Awesome. Well, that is a solid turn, Verkis. Eremos, you turn away from this very intriguing stone dais as sounds of combat suddenly erupt across the chamber. You see your friends engaging these three monstrous little gargoyles. What do you do, Eremos?
I'm going to start like stomping my feet, like imagine a lineman pushing a tackling dummy across the field, like driving the feet.
Nice.
And then I'll like put my head and shoulders down and I'll start to rush forward, activating my channel divinity comet to increase my speed. So
sweet. So what's your speed increase to with that increase?
Should be 45. We have not hammered out all the details, but
that's cool.
Yeah.
No, so that is able to, with 45, you said it was 100 diameter. So that gets you like you can move up to tide and then take an action on the one engaging him if you want. And then on your next turn, you could move up to gargoyles 1 and 3 if you wanted.
So as part of the comet movement, I'll be able to like bash into that one on tide with my movement.
Do it. That's awesome.
So I'll do that, and he'll make a strength saving throw.
Perfect. For him, that's going to be a +2. So let me roll this strength save. 7. I think he fails.
All right. So I will roll some radiant and some bludgeoning damage for him, and then I will chuck a spear at one of the other ones.
Sweet. Yeah, before you chuck the spear, see what kind of damage you do to this guy to decide your target and everything. Yeah.
How much damage did we talk about for this?
I haven't had a chance to look at it, to be honest. So I don't know. I figure if you're going into someone with magically enhanced speed,
2d8,
I would
2d8 is what it says.
2d8 bludgeoning.
2d8 bludgeoning and 2d8 radiant is what Vic was recommending.
Yeah, that works.
Okay.
Like I said, we can always talk about it more. We'll see how.
Oh, definitely.
And if we decide to change it, we can say that the magic of the Mound of Mol'Karrian altered his abilities. So yeah, we're covered narratively.
All right, so that would be 3
Narrative
3
loopholes.
bludgeoning and 7 radiant.
Cool. You shatter gargoyle number 2. It is gone.
That's how I was picturing it. Like just start to vibrate with like this stellar energy, and then just rushing across the field. Hopefully rushing through that one, shattering it, and then chucking his spear at another one.
Cool. So before you chuck your spear, though, can everyone state their passive perceptions for me?
I believe mine is 16.
Mine is low. I don't know what it is.
Passive perception.
10. Mine is 10.
16.
So for anyone with a passive perception above 14, you notice that right at, hang on, I gotta look at this shit. Nice. You notice that as soon as Eremos shatters this gargoyle, that on that map where the gargoyles were standing, the number 4, which is drawn on the map, begins to glow red. All the numbers were in white before, it begins to glow red.
Okay.
Yep. Now, Eremos, so you don't notice this, but you just shatter gargoyle number 2. There are 2 gargoyles left. Both are engaging Verkis. Would you like to chuck a spear at one of them? Oh, you're muted, buddy.
Yes, I will. Yes, I
Nice. Roll that attack, my friend.
will. Get back to the Discord.
A 19 absolutely hits. Let's roll some damage. So 4 piercing. Nice. And I assume that was on the statue closer to you, number 1, right?
Yeah.
So you hit it, and your spear gets a pretty solid land on it, but just based on its stony skin, you're like, that didn't do quite as much damage as it should have, but it still hurt it. So that was a good shot. So,
And Did I use all of the extra actions that I could grant to? Oh no, my bonus action was activating the comment. So I'm done. My turn's done.
Okay, that was solid. Nice kill, Eremos. First kill of the session. Well done. So we go back to the top of the combat order. Gargoyle number 1, which has taken a good slash from Verkis and a nice spear chuck from Eremos. It is its turn next. It is going to slash its sharp, rocky claws at Verkis, trying to damage him. Desperate. And, ooh, a 21. That hits, doesn't it?
For me? Oh yeah.
Yeah. Ugh.
Oh yeah.
Oh, no. Almost dropped my dice. It hits you
No,
for...
my AC's a 31.
Hey, you know. It does hit you for 5 slashing damage.
Okay.
Across the chest with its sharp, stony claws.
5 slashing.
Yep. But after it does that, its turn is over. Tide, it is your turn. The statue in front of you has just been obliterated by Eremos, awesomely. And so there's only two statues remaining, both attacking Verkis. You see the closer one to you slash Verkis across the chest, drawing some blood. So what would you like to do?
Are they? Oh, I need a spell slot that I used. The 2 statues, are they? Can I move up in a position where they are in a line?
Oh, easily, yeah. You would just have to kind of step either behind or across Eremos, and you would be lined up for them.
Yeah, I'll do that. Or I'll as I'm walking towards them, I start kind of walking to position them in that, so they're within a line, within 30 feet of each other.
Perfect.
Water comes out of the water skins I'm wearing around on my sides.
Nice.
And the runes come up around. There's a steamy bubble that I just kind of push past them. They need to do dex saves. The one closest to me and Verkis, I'll have my owl distract it so that it maybe fumbles on that dex save if I can give it disadvantage.
Yeah, I'll give it disadvantage. So the first one,
2d8.
Ooh, that one rolled really well though. So the first one gets a 16 with disadvantage.
Cool.
And the second one gets a 14.
Yeah, it is 14. So they're going to take, well, they half the damage, but it's fire damage. So
okay, so then it's going to be normal damage because they're vulnerable to fire. So
all right, roll high.
Nice.
I did 13 fire damage.
Oh,
damn.
Nice. So the one further from you, you drop it down to half health, and the one that just slashed Verkis is down to around 25% health. So you guys are hitting them hard. Yes, that's perfect, Rex. I love that. So yeah, Tide, you send your boiling, steaming water towards them, and it hits both of them, and you see parts of their rocky forms start to melt and shrivel. These guys are really badly damaged. That was really effective.
Are they within 5 feet of each other, the 2 statues?
They sure are.
Cool. I'm going to bonus action. I'm going to transmute. No, I'm going to quicken spell.
Okay.
My sacred flame, and then I'm also going to transmute spell it into fire damage.
Do it.
So they need to make a. I'm not rolling crap. They need to do what's the save? A dex save, 14 still.
A 14 dex save. Let me get another d20 so I can do this disadvantage. So 14 dex save, right?
Yeah.
And the first one still has disadvantage from your owl, correct?
I don't know if it carries over. I don't think so.
Okay, then they'll just both roll normally. 14 dex save. The first one does roll a 16, so it passes. The second rolls a 15. Jesus Christ. Okay. So
perfect. Then he'll take this fire damage to D8, I believe. The other one doesn't take anything because they passed.
Okay.
Yeah, the D8.
Yeah, normally it'd be halved, I imagine, but it's not because they are vulnerable to fire. So
3.
3?
Yeah.
Cool. And so they both take 3. So that
only the one that passed, or the one that failed. If it passed, it doesn't take any damage.
I see. Okay. So the further one from you does not take any damage, but the one closer to you takes that 3 fire damage, and it is less than 15% health, so it's getting pretty low.
Is that 3 with its vulnerability?
Yep.
And it would
no, wait, with its vulnerability, no. So now it's down to it actually takes 6, so it has 2 health left. Nice.
Well, that's my turn.
Excellent. So yeah, you hit the first statue too, and that thing's barely standing upright. So Gaston, it is your turn next. You are 30 feet away from the fray, having been magically teleported away by your cousin Verkis. So you see that tide is wreaking havoc on these two. You can tell that statue number 1 is most damaged, but statue number 3 is still below 50% health. What would you like to do?
I will fire a shot with my bow at statue number 3's one that's a little bit healthier.
Yeah.
Yeah, at 3.
Cool. Roll me a spell attack, please. Or a range attack, or whatever.
12.
What was it?
12.
A 12 does not hit. Sorry.
It's fine. I think I'm a little disoriented. I was like, hold on, where am I? And I'll use Thorn Whip on the one that's real fucked up.
Do it. Is that going to be a dex save or a strength save from him?
No, it's just an attack.
Oh, go for it. Great. Their AC is 15, so.
I just rolled a 16 to hit.
That does it.
And that's going to be 4 piercing damage.
Sweet. So, targeting the one that's the most damaged, the one that just on its last turn slashed Verkis across the chest, you lash out with your Thorn Whip, wrap it around its head and pull back, and you yank it into the air, and then when it crashes down, it just shatters into a bunch of rocks. It is defeated, and anyone with a passive perception above 14 notices that on the map, the number 2 begins to glow red as well, in addition to the 4.
Okay.
As soon as that thing shatters, it illuminates number 2. So, now after Kassan, is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
Where am I in relation to literally?
Oh, I can send you an updated map real quick because I moved you. Let me do that for you.
Okay, I'm probably a little too far away from number 3, but I want to run my full 30 feet toward number 3.
Yeah, you are able to get essentially back to where you were before Verkis moved you almost, 30 feet movement, he teleported 30 feet away, so yeah. So you are now about 10 feet away from statue number 3.
Like, cousin, no, it's fine. And that'll be it.
Okay, well, Kastan, that was a good turn. You defeated one of the gargoyles. Now, that last gargoyle remaining, it is up. It is going to try to attack Verkis. It is going to attempt to bite him. And a 6 absolutely misses, so that doesn't do anything. I imagine that it lunges forward, opening this big mouth with stony teeth, and you just kind of hold your sword up and kind of block it with the blade guard, And
I was gonna say, I feel like I'm gonna, just for the possibility of flavor, gonna catch it with the actual blade, because my turn's next, I believe.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, so go for it. I like that. So
Okay.
You catch it with the blade, and it's kind of like chomping on your blade.
And I'm gonna have Tavusu use his reaction, so not the bonus action ability, but the reaction ability to give my blade fire damage.
Do it.
Natural 20.
Yes.
Are we doubling the dice, or are we rolling the dice twice? I can never remember.
Rolling them twice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Oh. So 10 slashing damage.
Okay.
And 9 fire damage, which is it's vulnerable to, so it's 18 fire damage.
That's obliterating.
And I just, as I catch it with the blade, I just slice and just bisect the head.
Yep. Yeah, so as soon as the head part falls off, it hits the ground and shatters. The rest of the body kind of goes like tight and then falls back, and it shatters as well. And now you all notice that the number 15 on the map is glowing red as well. And the combat is over. These have been defeated. Well done.
Okay. Cool beans.